This is 3 News Daily.
Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to 3 News Daily on this Election Day, Tuesday, November 7th. I'm Stephanie Haney. Thank you for being with us here in Northeast Ohio. And with Election Day well underway this afternoon, if you are still making your way to the polls, here's what you need to know. Voters will decide on 2 major statewide issues on the ballot today. Issue 1, which if it passes, will change our state's constitution to guarantee abortion access. And Issue 2, which would create a new law making it legal for adults 21 and over to use marijuana recreationally. Here's an important reminder for voters this year. You need to bring a valid photo ID. That includes your Ohio driver's license, a state ID, U.S. passport, or military card, and those polls are open until 7:30 tonight. Now, with today's election soon to be behind us, we'll soon be looking ahead to next year's presidential race, and you can bet that will include more conversation about abortion, no matter what the results are with Issue 1 today. We talked to NBC political analyst Steve Kornacki, who broke down what today's election could mean for Ohio big picture. And if Issue 1 passes, Kornacki says it could serve as a roadmap for other states, comparing Ohio to 3 other states, including our neighbors over in Michigan, who have already passed amendments to place abortion protections into their constitutions and have very similar language in their amendments to what's being proposed in Issue 1 here in Ohio.
Becomes the model for what you do, not just in red states, but in politically competitive states next year in 2024. You know, a state like Arizona, a state that's going to be crucial to the presidential election, under the theory that this draws out, pro-choice voters, maybe Democratic-leaning voters, and they're there for that referendum, and that while they're at it, they vote Democratic in the presidential election and in other key races. So there's that hope that from the pro-choice side and the Democratic side, that what happens in Ohio basically becomes a model for what to do next year.
It's a familiar spot here in Ohio to have all eyes on the state during an election. Remember, 3 News will have continuing coverage of the election with up-to-the-minute results in all of our shows. I'll also be hosting a special online starting at 6:30 p.m. on WKYC.com, WKYC Plus, and the WKYC YouTube page, which I'll tell you more about here in a little bit. Now today, we're learning that a Northeast Ohio Nestle facility is laying off more than 70 workers. The company's Solon campus announced that 77 workers would be laid off starting December 31st. Nestle says it's due to changing markets and consumer trends that resulted in eliminating positions. Now in Cleveland Heights, police are investigating an overnight shooting and crash. They say a 30-year-old male crashed his car into a tree after being shot on St. Albans Road. This happened right before 3 a.m. The victim's condition is unknown right now. A juvenile male was taken into custody, and police say the 2 may know each other. Now, in North Olmsted, there are new developments in the investigation into a deadly police shooting. We've learned a police officer's bulletproof vest may have saved his life after he was shot in the chest and arm this weekend. Police say the officer was shot by 27-year-old Tom Knock of Elyria, who was also shot and later died at the hospital. Officers say they first saw Knock running from a burning home on Alden Drive. Inside that home, they found 52-year-old Christopher Teresi dead and say he'd been shot. Ohio BCI and the State Fire Marshal's Office are investigating what happened there. In Rocky River, the school board says it will not be removing administrators named in a petition circulating in the district. The petition was posted online last month, calling on several district officials to resign or be terminated. This all comes amid an investigation of alleged inappropriate conduct by former principal Dr. Heath Horton and a school resource officer. Now, the district is asking the community for a chance to prevent similar incidents, saying in part, quote, "We take seriously the call for the resignation or termination of 4 of the district's top administrators, but we intend to work with Superintendent Dr. Michael Schoaf and his team." Now, every year, schools across the country teach students about the importance of elections and voting. In the North Ridgeville City School District, students from kindergarten through 12th grade held a mock election. They voted on things like city issues, the mayor, and city council and school board members. The goal of the mock election is to help students understand how important it is to get out and vote. This is after a North Ridgeville levy very narrowly failed in the May election.
Our May campaign that failed by just 23 votes, we really determined that it's important to encourage our community to do their civic duty and to get out and vote.
Now, the district hopes this helps students understand the voting process and feel more comfortable going out to the polls when they're old enough.
That by introducing them to the process, that they'll be empowered that once they turn 18 and they're registered voters, that they can go do this on their own.
Tallying those mock ballots, and the results will be posted on the school's social media channels tomorrow. As of now, the district plans to continue doing this for future elections. All right, it's time to talk about the holidays. They do bring a lot of joy and also sometimes huge credit card bills. So our Maureen Kyle talked with lifestyle journalist Trey Boge in today's Mom Squad about how to plan a budget, stick to it, and more. And they talked about something that many parents do, go overboard to make the holidays magical for kids. But Trey says we're actually only hurting them when we do that.
So parents often report that they go overboard when they're spending for their kids because, like you said, they're only this age once and you want to make it magical for them. However, if you go overboard with your kids, what you end up doing sometimes are raising kids who expect that. So I always suggest keep it low and light with your kids every year. Maybe it's a couple of gifts per kid, maybe one special thing per year, something like that. That way you teach them that holiday can be about moderation. If you teach them about bounty, they're going to expect bounty.
Mm-hmm. I wonder how soon is too soon to introduce the concept of the gift exchange. That's something that we have been utilizing in my family. Now, Trey shares her top websites that she uses to find the best deals on everything from gifts to travel in the episode of Mom Squad. It's streaming now on WKYC Plus and our WKYC YouTube channel, so check that out. Now, after you vote today, why not head to the zoo for a little family fun? Because for the rest of the day, admission to the Akron Zoo is free for everyone. And starting tomorrow, the zoo is offering free admission to veterans and half-price tickets to their families until Sunday, November 12th. This is part of their Veterans Days promotion. You can head to akronzoo.org for more information about that. All right, now for our question of the day. On this election day, we want to know how you like to cast your vote. Do you prefer to vote early in person, by mail, or in person on Election Day, and why? Post your comment to the WKYC Facebook page. We'll talk about that during 3 News at 4 and 3 News at 5. And here's a reminder for you. Tonight, I'll be hosting a streaming special on the election. That starts at 6:30 on WKYC.com, WKYC Plus, and our WKYC YouTube channel. We'll have special guests. Our guests will include Republican Lee Weingart and also Democratic Senator Kent Smith. We'll also have Mark Namick here from Signal Cleveland. We'll be checking in with our reporters who will be all over Northeast Ohio. So stick with us in between the newscasts tonight. We would love to have you join us with up-to-minute results as they come in. All right, thanks for being with us today. Everyone, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Get out there and vote if you haven't done it yet. We'll see you back here tomorrow with more of your top stories from around Northeast Ohio.